Yeah, it's one of those nights, especially if you're a Chelsea fan. Like, I mean, what the hell was happening? What the hell was happening at Ellen Road? I mean, I kind of knew that these are the type of things that we might expect from Enzo Maresca and Chelsea this season, even though you think maybe they're now growing towards the era of trying to keep things consistency and be the challenging team. I mean, Enzo Maresca, after Arsenal game, he was talking about, yeah, he's liking the progress of the players, he's liking the challenge, they are going in the right direction. And I mean, after yesterday's performance, I'm not sure if they are going to the right direction. And I mean, look at this. Every time a Chelsea team is depleted with one of the top stars that usually starts, it's usually a problem. And I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about Enzo Maresca. I want to talk about the backup players. And I want to talk about Tosin. But first things first, I want to talk about Enzo Maresca. I mean, Enzo Maresca, we all know that he's a young coach. He's learning on the job. He was taken from Leicester when he won the championship. And then Chelsea was like, come here, then help this team. And then when he came to Chelsea's first season, he won the Conference League. He won the Club World Cup. He's been doing well now. He's in the top 8 of the Champions League table, and then he's doing well in the top 4 in the Premier League. No one really can fault him. But I'm saying, everyone always talk about Chelsea spending a lot of money. They need to win something big, even though I still believe the Club World Cup is something big for them. But I mean, every time Enzo Maresca tries to rotate the team, it's always a disaster for Chelsea. And I think he's the only one that doesn't see the problem. I'm thinking the players themselves, they see this is an issue. And as soon as they see some of the players in the starting lineup, I'm sure everyone starts shaking their head and thinking, oh, now we're going to get another L. Think about this. The yesterday game was just another cream of the crop in terms of giving Maresca actually the exact weight of you need to understand who are the teams that you're playing against. I mean, if you remember the Sutherland game, it was more of a similar story. Every time Enzo Maresca sees like an opposition that is not strong enough and he thinks Chelsea can just beat that opposition, he usually bring in the young guys, the guys that are usually at the bench, try to manage the other guys that are starting all the games. And I mean, it's a good thing to manage the players, especially Chelsea, because they're having a lot of injuries and some of the guys, they can't even stay fit. But I mean, having some of the guys starting in matches like Leeds away, it's not even like a good thing for the team. And I mean, look at the team. Even the first half, if you watch that game, the first half was nothing like Chelsea, nothing. They were not even playing like Chelsea. The movement was very slow. They didn't have a direction, no creativity. There was some point where I felt sorry for Delap and João Pedro, because I think when you are up front and the team is not able to find the most because they are moving the ball so slowly, you see the guys like Badashile and Tosin were getting more of the ball because the ball was played more by the defenders, which is the thing that is happening in the modern football. But I think even Andre Santos tried to move the ball with Enzo, but it's one of those things that actually never really happened in the first half, where they didn't actually take in terms of like, they were like, let's just move the ball in a high pace. In first half, they frustrated Estevao. They were just on his case. He couldn't do anything. Gittins tried, but he wasn't also prolific. I mean, it was one of those nights where Chelsea just can't do it. They can't do it. So I was like, okay, that's fine. It's 1-0. I'm just going to wait for the match to go to halftime. And then Enzo Maresca will figure out something. Guess what? Just before halftime, they came back, Leeds United. Tenaga scored a stunning goal. And I mean, you can't blame Sanchez. Sanchez has been prolific for Chelsea. He's been like fabulous. And I know people have been saying things to Sanchez. I've been like believing that Sanchez as a keeper, not as a ball-playing keeper. As a keeper, Sanchez is one of the good keepers in the league. But if you want him to now become a ball-playing keeper, that's a different story. But he was good yesterday, even though that goal was just stunning. Tenaga just move it a little bit away from the feet and just strike it on the bottom corner. And I think it was one of those beautiful goals. And then Leeds were up 2-0. Second half, Chelsea came back like a house on fire, got the goal. You thought they were going to come and get more goals. But you know what they did? They decided to let more goals come in. That's where now I want to come into Tosin. I feel like Chelsea need to move on from Tosin. I know he's one of the oldest players. That's maybe he should be more of the leadership. Maybe they can keep him for this because I think he has a good moral around the squad, and then he supports everyone. Then the relationship of him and Cole Palmer, I think maybe if they're looking at that, they can keep him. But if there's another thing that's they thinking like, we can move this guy because football-wise not benefiting us, I think they need to move Tosin. It's either loan him, sell him, or whatever they do. I think he's not good enough for Chelsea. Every time Tosin plays, he's a horrible defender, 1v1. He's a horrible defender winning the first ball. He's a horrible defender reading the game at the back. He's just not good enough for the Chelsea team. And I think most of the time he makes other players uncomfortable around him. No one is really trusting him that they will give him the ball and he will pick the right decision to do with that ball, or will make sure that he's collecting the ball in the right time. Because yesterday, Gusto tried to move the ball in, go to Enzo. Enzo moved the ball to Gusto. Gusto tried to move the space and then move the ball to Tosin. Tosin failed to trap the ball. Leeds take it, and then Calvert-Lewin was there to finish three goals, 3-1. And I think it was one of those things that I don't remember Chelsea winning a match that Tosin actually started this season. If Tosin is on the starting lineup, just know some shaky business is coming. I don't think he's good enough for the Chelsea team. I understand they love him in the locker room. It's good for the team morale and everything. But I don't think he's a player that Chelsea should be looking at and saying it's one of the guys that we can use if we don't have enough defenders. Because I don't think it's one of the guys that will help Chelsea. Then moving on from Tosin, let's talk about the backup players. I mean, I have a problem with some of the players. I mean, because I feel like if you're a professional, you need to have that hunger on you, just that if I get the starting 11, I need to make sure that I show the coach that I deserve to be on the starting 11 that play in, week out. But looking at the players like Panashile, they play like they're not sure what to do. Even me, when you're looking at this match on TV, you're like, I mean, I know it's hard to be there as a player. Like, it's easy for me because I'm watching, maybe I can pick up the few decisions for you. But I mean, Pandashile wasn't really playing like he wanted to play. I think I still like Anderson Jose, understand the assignment. He was there trying to move the ball, trying to win the packages and all of that. I think Enzo needs to pull up some socks. I think Enzo is a guy that if the other guys are not around and he's on the pitch, I think he's the one that the guys, most of the guys are relying on him to do the action. So yesterday he wasn't on the game, and I think it was a good thing that they moved Estevao out and then put a Petroneto in, who is such an incredible form for Chelsea. I think he's got like 4 goals in the last 7 matches, and I think he's doing well for Chelsea. So they need to start with guys like that, and I think Chelsea need to learn one thing. You need to finish everyone that is available. Finish them. I think Enzo Maresca needs to learn something. I know you want to keep everyone happy, keep everyone fit, but I think some of the guys, because I don't think they are good enough to do these games on their own, they just need to be part of the team, especially if you have injuries. Maybe you can bring 1 or 2, but I don't think it's an ideal thing to just pick like maybe 8 changes in the squad, 6 changes in the squad. I don't think it's working well for Chelsea, and I think Enzo Maresca needs to learn some of this mistake. I know he's learning on the job. I know it's a good thing for him because he's also learning on the job, and then he has the young players also that are learning on the job. It's just that this kind of group is they're growing up together. It's just one of these nice projects that they're having. But I think you need to learn from this mistake, and the players themselves, I blame them. You need to take the opportunity. If you're given an opportunity as a player to play one game, to start, you need to impress the coach. You need to make sure that you're there. Like I'm saying, in the first half of that match, Chelsea wasn't in the game. They looked like they didn't want to play because the way they were moving the ball, they couldn't even find the spaces when they crossing their halfway line because they were playing more of the ball at the back, so they couldn't be a threat. At some point, they had like 1 shot on target, which was bad for a team like Chelsea. Because if you are challenging for the league, or you're putting yourself as one of the teams that are challenging for the league, this is not a thing that you should relying on luck, relying on maybe Leeds won't show up. Leeds, they will show up. They need the points. They don't want to go back to the championship. They want to stay in the Premier League. So if they smell something, they will go and get it. And I'm telling you. So I think Enzo Maresca needs to learn from this. The backup players need to learn from this. And also, Tosin, come on. Learn from this, man. Come on. I think we've done so many changes at the back just to accommodate Tosin. There was a time where he was playing on the left-hand side with Chalobah playing on the right-hand side, and then we saw that he was uncomfortable playing on the left-hand side. We tried to move him on his favorite position, playing on the right-hand side. And I think at Chelsea, this is one of the things that actually, when you look at Tosin's situation, you realize that Chelsea, maybe it's time now. They need to invest in those defenders. I know they still have Colwill out, but I think if you have guys like Pandashile, Tosin, I don't think those are the guys that actually will give you like quality going forward. But I like some of the new guys. But I think Enzo Maresca needs to learn from this, and they need to learn from this if they really want to challenge for the league. Because I think they are behind. They like 24 points, and these guys are like 33. So I think it's 9 points for Chelsea. So they need to win these games, and these are the games that they need to win. But if you have anything to add on my match review, make sure that you comment below, you hit that like button, and you subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.